Hey, welcome to today's episode. Today we're gonna make these two raised beds, or I call them planter boxes throughout this video. I don't know why, you know, but yeah, super simple project. Nothing to write home about, but fun and useful nevertheless. So let's get going. So in this second video in my mini sort of gardening series, we're going to build some planter boxes. I'm going to turn this wood into some planter boxes. I'll be honest, I wasn't sure if I should even bother showing this project. It is super simple. I'm doing it the simplest way, most probably not even the neatest way or the strongest way in theory. Well, I don't know just yet, but there's tons of these videos. However, I thought, anytime in my shop time, I'm going to convert into video, and also I feel that I'm going to show the easy way, because just to show that anyone can do it. And I know, there's a lot of videos about how long should a planter box last, etc. I'll be honest, if mine lasts 2, 3, 4 years, I'm more than happy, and it's way worth the investment. I don't think I've bought a planter box that's lasted more than 2, 3 years, and that's like super treated wood, etc. So this is just to show that anyone can do this with most tools. I'm actually not going to use the table saw for this. The only tools I'll be using is my cap saw or miter saw for some people, and that's just because I have it. You can as easily use a circular saw to do these cuts. It's literally just the simplest form of box. It needs to hold a little bit of dirt, so that's it. And the reality is with this, if you use a bit of screw and maybe reinforce it with glue, this will hold fine. I have planter boxes outside that I built last year, and they are fine. Even when the wood warps, like this panel, which hasn't even been outside yet, but is already bowing. As long as you reinforce it enough and have enough hole points, it should do the job. At the end of the day, it's supposed to hold dirt, and you have all this treated wood. Loads of chemicals can go in there. People worry. I'm going to avoid all of that by just using plain, simple, dried pine. And let's see how long it lasts. Maybe in 6 months I'll go like, well, that was a mistake. But like I said, I made the ones outside out of construction timber, which is the same as this, and they're holding fine. So yeah, let me stop talking so much and just get on with it. So what I have here is I literally went to Bauhaus, which is like the local DIY, one of the local DIY stores, and I bought these 144 mil wide, 19 mil thick listones en español. I don't know, planks, I guess. And they were 3 meters, and I just asked them to cut them in half. So for me, that's fine. So each box will be 1.5 meters wide, and then I'm thinking about 50 or 60 deep. I'm gonna figure that out now. And the height in my case is gonna be very shallow. Now, nothing stops you from making it higher, so you could stack 3 of them, but I think with 2, I am more than happy for the plants that I want to do. You could easily put a 3rd, but I don't have enough wood to make 2 then, because I miscalculated, I won't lie. So I'm just gonna sort them out to make sure that the same width, because obviously where they cut them in half, it wasn't perfectly half as you'd expect. So I'm gonna just match them up and lay out all the pieces so that I can get on with assembly. Okay, as you saw, I just put a bead of glue along. I'm not too precious with this build on squeeze out, etc., and I don't need loads. I've also marked where I'm gonna drill the holes. I'm a little bit of a stickler, so it looks neat, but I mean, you can just do this willy-nilly. I don't know if it'll persist through both boxes, but yeah. So the idea is then once you have it in place where you want to just clamp it down, because it does make it slip a little bit. Obviously get glue all over your hands. And then just make sure it's flush, and that'll, if you cut everything straight and like, if it comes from the store, it should be fine. I'm pre-drilling just so that the boards won't split. And then I'm using 40 mils for this. Ideally you want rust-free screws. I'm not even gonna do like a flush drill bit drilling, as these screws go in flush anyway because it's quite a soft wood. And again, this is just a box to hold some dirt for my plants. The pretty thing should be the plants and not the box, right? And that's it, bam, one side done. And now we just attach this, make sure it's flush again, and the two pieces are aligned. And that's it, and I'm just going to be doing this for the next, my word, next hour or so.
You know, they say measure twice, cut once. Well, it looks like I measured once and I cut twice.
So there we go, one box done. And bam, there we have it. The second one's done. That's it, it is bigger than I thought, right? So I was hoping to make it like 1 foot deep. So to follow the square foot gardening system, it's a quite interesting system. Shows you how many plants to plant per square foot. Anyway, I digress. But this is nearly big enough to have 2 squares. It's nearly 2 feet wide, so it's a bit bigger than I initially wanted. So I think if you don't have space, you can easily just reduce the size. But again, you can make this any size you want. It also depends on the lumber. You know, I had it, so I just used up all the lumber that I bought so that I can get the most out of it. So yeah, that's about it. But the one thing I want to do, and I want to figure out how I'm going to do it and take you along, is put the inside lining. I've got it over there somewhere, I need to just find it. And it's just to protect the soil that goes in here. One, from being affected by weeds and that from the ground, or if you have it in a space that you want to keep semi-dirty, kind of keeps it clean. And 2, it'll also help protect the wood a little bit longer. So yeah, that's the next thing I want to install. So let me get all the pieces for that and we'll see you in a minute. Okay, so here's this lining stuff. I got this also from the big box store, 1 by 10 meters. It's not quite wide enough to go to the top, but I guess if I could do 2 sheets like this and make them overlap. I think that'll be the best, because I want it to go all the way down and across. I think that'll be the best thing to do. I also have the staple gun, so this I was super lucky. The previous owners of the house left this up in the attic somewhere, I found it in the back. It works, I want to say 75% of the shots. So every 4th or so, it doesn't fire, I don't get it. But hey, yes, so I will roll this out, cut out strips and then just attach it, I think, with staple. These are super cheap as well. Or you can use a hand staple as well, you can use nails. I just use this because I have it. And we put it in there. sadly, you see, if I'd gone with a 50 centimeter approach, then this would have been perfect. It would have been, you know, just the right width to come up all the sides. I could have done it in one sheet. But it doesn't matter, if it overlaps in the middle, it's okay. Like I said, it's supposed to stop weed and the soil will close that seam. It's just a little bit of a protection, so let's get on with it. And there we go, after hours of painstakingly doing this all by myself, without any support, we have it done. So next step is to put it into the garden, fill it with soil, and make it ready for outside use. Oh, hi, I don't see that.
I did this one.
Right. So there we have it. We have our 2 planter boxes. It's been a couple of weeks, hence there's soil and plants in there. You know, we set it down, I installed the irrigation, and overall we're quite happy with them. I think it was a super simple project. You know, I'm not going to say that this was like an amazing feat. There's loads of YouTube videos about this as well, but like I said, I want to put this on my channel because I put everything I do, and I always want to show that there's some super simple projects, you know, where you just literally nail or screw a few bolts together and they have a real practical use, and it's sturdy, right? This will hold for sure. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and like always, please subscribe and like and share with the world if you want, and I'll catch you later.